My wife painted this. We were laying on the couch, she was bored, she painted my nail, and I told her I was gonna leave it until it naturally came off, so get used to that.
Let's go.
What's up everybody, Kier Gomes here, and welcome back. So if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know I love reviewing cards. And also, if you read the comments in my videos, you know that there is this kind of ongoing love-hate relationship between the B-roll that I insert as a trailer to the beginning of my videos. Specifically, recently I have gotten some mixed feedback. Some people love it, some people hate it. I've also gotten some really constructive criticism on why people don't like it, which is actually the most helpful thing for me. But some of the feedback that I received was also that that's the part of my videos that people skip through, which is interesting because to me, that's like the most fun to watch, is somebody actually using the cards. But we're gonna experiment a little bit. I'm gonna change the format for now and see how well it's received. But basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna move the B-roll segments. I'm still gonna do them, but I'm gonna move them either into the middle or at the end of a video. But we're just gonna play around with the format and see how that goes for us. All right, now with that being said, we are gonna review a deck of cards today. We are gonna be taking a look at the Juggler Sistine playing cards by Juggler Playing Cards. If you know me, you know I love the Juggler Marble Edition playing cards that were printed with Hansen Chen. I feel like they're some of the best handling cards I've ever handled in my life. So when I saw that Juggler's 3rd edition deck was gonna be printed by the United States Playing Card Company on crushed bicycle stock, the traditionalist in me was excited because that's a stock that I know and love, but there was a small part of me that was disappointed because I love the Hansen Chen card stock so much. But I backed the deck on Kickstarter anyway, and it has arrived, so we're gonna take a look at it. Before we get started, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. All right, so if you're not familiar with Juggler, they had the original Juggler deck, which I don't own. I believe it was printed with Hansen Chen. It might have been USPCC though. The big one was the Juggler Marble Edition playing cards. These came out a while back, I think maybe a year, 2 years ago, something like that. And these are, this is an amazing deck of cards. It's easily one of my favorite decks from Hansen Chen Productions, and for good reason. The cards feel amazing, they look cool. They're like the perfect mix of standard and not standard. Overall, this was just a huge success of a deck. Now, Julio Ribera, who designs the Juggler decks, announced on Kickstarter some months ago that the 3rd deck was coming, and that was the Juggler Sistine playing cards. So that's where we're at. These are technically like Juggler V3, but they're their own thing. So there's your history lesson. Let's look at the cards. The tuck case is very minimalistic. It's done in glossy white cardstock. The front is all white and just says Sistine playing cards in blue in this kind of modern font, and then it has this blue line that just goes all the way right down the middle. There's nothing written on either side of the deck, so it almost looks like a prototype. The bottom has some ad copy about Juggler, and the top has that traditional Juggler, what is this called? Ambigram, monogram? Either way, if you hold it like this or you hold it like this, it says Juggler both ways, which is pretty cool. And the back of the tuck box is a very simplified and stripped of color version of the back design of the cards. You can see it is the 2 hands from the Sistine Chapel painting. Michelangelo, who is a famous sculptor, painted a giant mural on the roof of the Sistine Chapel. It's known as one of the great masterpieces of the world. On the inside of the tongue flap, it says, "Caution, this deck produces pleasure." Yes, okay, all right. Nothing else on the inside of the box. Let's take a look at the cards. Woo. All right, so this is what the back design looks like. You get a very thin white border, and then a field of blue, kind of watercolor looking brush stroked color. It's like blue, and then it fades into a little bit of white and lighter blue. It looks really, really nice. And then coming out of each corner, you get the 2 hands going to touch each other, just like the Sistine Chapel painting. This is absolutely beautiful. I love the way that it was designed to make the cards almost a 2-way back design, as opposed to the original painting, which would have made it definitely a 1-way. However, it is a 1-way back design altogether because there is some shading that makes one side darker at the top than the other. It's very subtle, you can hardly notice it, but it's there. All right, your Ace of Spades looks like this. It is an enlarged spade pip that's definitely a lot more modern than the rest of the look of the cards. And then on the inside, you can see that white line work that makes the back design of the cards being represented right there in the middle. You can also see, if you look carefully, that the index of the cards are custom. It's a custom font and custom pip. That's a nice ace of spades. I like my ace of spades to be minimalistic. I also like it to be big. This pretty much covers both. Nice. All right, you're gonna get two identical jokers. It looks like the head of like the David statue almost. I don't know if that is supposed to be anybody specific, but it kind of pays homage to that Renaissance style sculpting art. So I really like that. Kind of looks like my tattoo of Alexander the Great, almost the similar art style. It says Joker in the corner, so really nice. I love jokers like that just have that simple, it says Joker right there in the corner. There's a nice image that's very clean and, you know, appealing and not a lot of extras. I really like that. Now, as far as ad cards and gaff cards, you are going to get a blank faced card, which can be used for poker. It can be used for a lot of different magic routines. Overall, a very handy card to have. And you also get a double backer, which is perfect for ambitious card or using it as a control. By the way, if you guys want a video on different things that you can do with a double backer, let me know down in the comments. I've been wanting to make one. Now, the rest of your cards are customized. So the pip placement and the indices have all been customized, including the court cards. So you can see your spades look like this. They're just smaller than you would see like on a bicycle deck. The font used on the index is almost the same as bicycle standard, so it doesn't really bother me. Your diamonds are just a lot chunkier, and they're also crimson red instead of bright red. Your court cards are busts, like kind of that Roman statue type bust. But they are stripped of almost all detail, and then the thing that kind of bothers me is that all the queens are actually the exact same image. So you can see there is no difference in the way that they were drawn. Same thing, hearts and diamonds, it's the same image, it's just been swapped out for red. So this bothers me a little bit. I'm not huge on, I mean, it's cool that the cards have been customized to match the motif of the deck, but when they look this similar, same thing for the kings, when they look the exact same, it can be difficult to differentiate between clubs and spades if you don't have a sharp eye. So in terms of using this deck for Magic, I think that you would kind of get yourself into some trouble here. This is what the jacks look like. I think that you would kind of get yourself into a situation where if somebody picks a court card, you could use a pseudo duplicate, which would help you. But in the long run, it does make the cards a little bit more difficult to interpret. I just think that making some effort to make the cards a little bit different would have made the deck a little bit more well-versed. The rest of your faces look like this. You can see that there is a custom pip placement. It's not the same orientation that you would find it on a bicycle deck, which is totally fine. I actually think that the faces look kind of cool. So as you can see, really, really nice pip placement. Very clean, very small, which I think is in right now. I'm a huge fan of that. So that's pretty much it for the way that this deck looks. Let's switch angles and talk about how it handles. All right, so these playing cards are printed by the United States Playing Card Company, and they are on crushed bicycle stock. So they are super, super thin playing cards. They came out of the box, especially never being shuffled, super slippery, so smooth, and definitely pre-worn in. These cards were very soft right out of the box, which, I've said this before, completely spoils me when it comes to the United States Playing Card Company. The only thing that I don't love about crushed bicycle stock is that after a few shuffles and after handling the cards for a while, the cards do get very clumpy, and that's only because they're so thin that it's difficult for those fibers to take, you know, the constant breaking in and the different climates, like if it's humid or if your hands are sweaty, it can be kind of difficult to keep the cards intact. However, this deck was holding up pretty good, I would say. Still fans pretty good, not as good as when I first got it, but still looks okay. They spring extremely easy. As you can see, it's very easy to spring these cards because they come out of the box feeling already worn in. I think the intended application for this deck is cardistry, just given Julio Ribera's past with his designs and with the Juggler series. More of a cardistry style deck. Nothing wrong with that, I like it. Let's see how the cards fare. They definitely go best from top to bottom. Now, if I had to compare the way that this deck feels to another deck, I would say hands down the closest you could get would be the Gemini Superfly Royale decks that just came out, or kind of the same feel as the first playing cards by Chris Ramsey. They feel kind of like that. Here's what the cards look like under pressure. Nice and slow. Let's do it faster. Nice. Here's that new gerbil sound. You can definitely hear how thin they are when you gerbil them. Snappiness check. Cards definitely pop right off, so they're very snappy. Again, that's a good thing. That's something that I like. And you know what? While we're down here, let's go ahead and show you guys a magic trick. All right, so for this trick, we're actually only gonna need one card. So let's go ahead and select one at random. Let's say the 3 of clubs. It's actually like my favorite card. So in order to make the 3 of clubs unique, and so you know that there's no duplicates or anything like that, we're gonna write your card right there. As you can see, that is not coming off. So this is the only card that we need for this magic effect, and we also need an empty tuck box. I'm gonna drop the card in there. And oh. Okay, never mind. So the card's not gonna disappear, I guess. That's okay. We can always just push it right out of the box. And now it goes back inside. And there you go. Well guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode and my review of the Juggler Sistine playing cards by Juggler Playing Cards. In general, I would say this was a home run for Julio. I absolutely do love this deck. Despite my differences with the design of the court cards, I have been using this deck since I received it in the mail about a week ago. I love it. I really, really like the way that it feels. I love the crushed stock. I think that in general, this is a deck that I will buy more of. Also, if you guys are new to the channel and late to the party, I am currently doing a giveaway with my friend Daniel Schneider of Black Roses Playing Cards. I announced it yesterday, and we're not going to announce the winners for a while, so if you're interested and you haven't entered yet, go check out my video from yesterday. I'll link that after this video. Go check it out, watch it, enter the giveaway, win yourself some stuff. It's awesome. All that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.